You did things behind my back, and I was here napping, and you two were texting.
You won't believe what just happened in Jasmine and Gino's world. While still married to Gino, Jasmine allegedly cheated and got pregnant by Matt. The twist? Legally, Gino is considered the father. That alone is enough to make anyone's jaw drop. But the story only gets messier from here. Imagine waking up to a situation where the person you trusted is now wrapped up in a scandal that could change your life forever. That's the storm Gino is facing right now. Hi, I'm Lily, and welcome back to Reality Drama Files. If you love untangling the wildest moments of 90 Day Fiancé and exploring what really goes on behind the cameras, hit that subscribe button and let me know your thoughts in the comments, because trust me, you'll want to weigh in on this one. Gino is in a place most of us can barely comprehend. He's still legally married, yet facing the reality that the child he's expected to parent isn't biologically his. On top of that, Jasmine's actions have opened the door for a tense legal battle and financial control issues that could have long-term consequences. He's not just hurt, he's frustrated, he's angry, and he's plotting his next moves carefully. You can almost feel the weight of every decision he makes, every calculation behind that seemingly calm exterior. Meanwhile, Jasmine is navigating the fallout of her choices, the public scrutiny, and the pressure of reality TV cameras that never blink. Betrayal, manipulation, revenge, unresolved feelings, it's all layered on top of each other. And it's about to explode in ways nobody saw coming. The stakes couldn't be higher. And the question on everyone's mind is whether Gino will finally take legal revenge, or if he will find a way to let go and move on. Even though Gino keeps saying he's done, his actions tell a very different story. There's a bitterness that lingers in every move he makes. A quiet intensity that shows he's far from over Jasmine. Saying goodbye is one thing, but letting go is another. And Gino seems trapped somewhere between anger and attachment. Every decision he makes carries a weight, a reminder that he's still emotionally invested, whether he admits it or not. One of the ways this shows up is in his power plays. He's deliberately delaying the divorce, keeping the legal bond alive, even when it feels like the world is pushing him to move on. On top of that, there's the immigration fraud case he filed. It's not just paperwork. It's a statement, a leverage point that ensures Jasmine can't move freely without consequences. It's a mix of hurt and strategy, a complicated dance between control and protection. Psychologically, what Gino is doing isn't unusual in high-conflict relationships. When someone feels betrayed, holding on to any form of control can feel like the only way to stay safe or regain dignity. Emotional leverage becomes a tool, and every legal or financial move is calculated to maintain influence. You can see it in how he times each step, how he watches the ripple effects of Jasmine's choices, and how he responds when things don't go his way. At the same time, you have to wonder, is this pure revenge? Or is there still a part of him hoping for reconciliation? Is he acting out of raw hurt, or is this a carefully measured strategy designed to keep Jasmine under his shadow until he decides the next move? Each action raises more questions than answers, and the tension between what he says and what he does keeps everyone guessing. Jasmine's choices have put her in the center of a storm she may not have fully anticipated. Cheating while married was one thing, but getting pregnant by Matt while still legally tied to Gino turned the heat up to an entirely new level. Every move she makes is scrutinized. Every decision dissected by fans, family, and the cameras that never stop rolling. On reality TV, there's no privacy, and mistakes aren't just private, they're public property, endlessly replayed and discussed. Navigating this pressure takes a mix of courage and strategy. Jasmine has to manage how she's perceived by the audience while also handling the very real consequences from Gino. There's a constant balancing act, defending her choices without inflaming Gino further, maintaining her sense of independence while knowing her actions are under legal and financial scrutiny. Each public appearance, each social media post, becomes a calculated step in a larger chess game she didn't exactly choose to play. The emotional toll is immense. Shame and guilt collide with a desire for freedom and a chance to live her life on her own terms. Every decision feels like a gamble, weighing personal happiness against potential backlash. There's a weight to the reality of consequences that can't be ignored, and every misstep seems amplified by the lens of cameras and public opinion. Yet, there's also a spark of empowerment, a drive to reclaim control in a situation that feels increasingly constraining. But the question that hangs over her every day is relentless. Can Jasmine find a way out of Gino's hold, both emotionally and legally? Or is she trapped in a cycle where every move he makes pushes her back into his orbit? The tension between freedom and consequence isn't just dramatic television, it's a real, raw struggle that she has to navigate with every choice. Money has become one of the sharpest weapons in Jasmine and Gino's conflict. Gino's focus on keeping Jasmine's 90-day fiancé earnings shows just how high the stakes really are. This isn't just about cash, it's about control, leverage, and sending a message. Every paycheck she earned on the show represents more than money. It represents independence, freedom, and a chance to reclaim her life. Gino's refusal to let go of it adds another layer of pressure, making the legal and emotional battle even more intense. The financial struggle isn't just dramatic, it's strategic. Delaying the divorce, claiming entitlements, and leveraging legal avenues creates a tense environment where Jasmine can't move freely without considering the consequences. Each financial move Gino makes isn't random, it's a calculated effort to maintain influence. For Jasmine, every decision about spending, saving, or investing has to be measured against the risk of losing her hard-earned earnings. It's a battlefield where money and independence collide, and the consequences extend far beyond the bank account. This struggle also highlights the larger theme of power in relationships. Money isn't just currency. It's leverage, a way to assert dominance, and a tool to force compliance. Jasmine's fight isn't just about reclaiming her earnings. It's about reclaiming agency over her life and breaking free from a system that can feel stacked against her. The tension builds as she navigates options, legal advice, and public scrutiny. Every step toward financial independence is met with resistance, and every attempt to assert control becomes another scene of conflict. The question hanging over both of them is clear. Can Jasmine fight back, protect her earnings, and finally carve out a life beyond Gino's grasp? Or will the legal and financial walls he's built keep her trapped in this ongoing struggle? Gino's immigration fraud case adds a whole new level of tension to this saga. By filing the case, he's not just creating legal complications, he's gaining a powerful lever over Jasmine. In simple terms, the case puts her in a position where every move she makes could have serious consequences. Even if she wants to assert independence, the law becomes a constant reminder of how much is at stake. Socially, it's equally intense. Reality TV fans are watching, opinions are flying, and every post, every comment, every decision gets magnified under the public eye. For Jasmine, the stakes feel enormous. She's caught in a corner where personal freedom collides with legal risk. One wrong step could affect her ability to live freely, to work, or to make choices about her own future. At the same time, being under this kind of scrutiny can create a strange kind of empowerment, forcing her to think strategically, plan ahead, and make decisions that protect her interests while navigating a very hostile environment. Every interaction with Gino, every legal document, every social media update becomes part of a high-stakes game she didn't exactly choose to play, but now has to master. The emotional weight is intense. Fear, frustration, and a desire for control all mix together in ways that are exhausting and relentless. Jasmine can feel trapped, threatened, and pressured. Yet, there's a part of her learning to adapt, to push back carefully, and to assert her autonomy without giving Gino the upper hand. And yet, the biggest question remains unanswered. Will the law ultimately tip the scales in her favor? Or will the leverage Gino has built keep her pinned, forcing her to navigate the consequences of every choice under his watchful eye? The tension between legal strategy and personal freedom has never felt more raw. The drama between Jasmine and Gino isn't just playing out in courts or private conversations, it's exploding online. Fans and followers are weighing in, creating memes, reacting to every clip, and sharing opinions like wildfire. Every moment Jasmine and Gino appear on screen sparks commentary, and social media has a way of amplifying even the smallest actions into full-blown controversies. What might be a quiet argument in private becomes a viral spectacle in public, and that adds an entirely new layer of pressure for both of them. Public sympathy is swinging wildly. Some viewers see Jasmine as a victim of a controlling ex, applauding her attempts to take back control of her life. Others criticize her choices, focusing on the betrayal and the complicated reality of being legally married to someone else while starting a relationship with Matt. Meanwhile, Gino receives support from those who view him as wronged and strategic, while others condemn his attempts to maintain control over Jasmine and her earnings. The contrast between public perception and private chaos creates a surreal tension. They're performing in front of an audience that never blinks, even as their lives unravel behind closed doors. The emotional impact on both parties is intense. Humiliation, guilt, validation, and frustration swirl together in ways that are difficult to navigate. Each viral clip, each comment, each post has the potential to push them further apart or make them rethink their next moves. Jasmine has to weigh how the world sees her against the very real consequences she faces, and Gino must decide if public opinion can strengthen his position or if it will backfire. The biggest question is whether the crowd's opinion will influence what comes next. Will they make bolder moves because of fan reactions? Or will they retreat, letting legal battles and personal pride dictate their actions? In a conflict this layered, the voices of strangers online can feel almost as powerful as the ones in the courtroom or living room. Gino's refusal to finalize the divorce has turned every interaction into a high-stakes game. It's not just about paperwork. It's about sending a message that he's still in control. Every delay, every calculated move, every legal maneuver reinforces his position, creating tension that feels inescapable. Psychological tactics are at play, subtle reminders, strategic silence, and actions that make Jasmine second-guess her freedom. It's a power struggle played out in plain sight where the stakes are emotional, financial, and legal all at once. But Jasmine isn't sitting back quietly. She's carefully choosing her responses, keeping her composure while asserting independence in small but meaningful ways. Every decision to push back legally, every refusal to react emotionally, every measured social media post becomes a countermove. She's navigating the conflict with a mix of strategy and self-preservation, demonstrating that power isn't only in legal papers or public perception, it's in restraint, timing, and knowing when to push forward. Tension escalates as each small win and loss shifts the dynamic subtly. Gino gains ground when Jasmine hesitates or is forced to consider the consequences of his legal leverage. Jasmine scores points when she maintains her independence, asserts boundaries, or makes moves that disrupt his control. Every interaction becomes a tug of war, with neither side fully dominating. The emotional energy is exhausting, and the stakes are higher with every passing day. The question looming over both of them is impossible to ignore. Is the balance of power finally starting to shift in Jasmine's favor? Or is Gino's grip hardening, locking her into a cycle where every choice she makes is weighed against his next move? The struggle between control and independence has never felt so tense. And every small victory or setback could tip the scales in ways that neither of them can fully predict. The drama between Jasmine and Gino isn't just scandal. It's a study in heartbreak, attachment, and human behavior under extreme pressure. When betrayal happens in a relationship, the emotional fallout can push people into revenge, control, and calculated moves that might seem harsh from the outside, but make sense when you consider the hurt they're feeling. Gino's bitterness, his refusal to finalize the divorce, and the legal leverage he's holding are rooted in unresolved pain. He's attached, hurt, and trying to regain a sense of power in a situation where he feels blindsided. On the other side, Jasmine is facing her own emotional minefield. Guilt, shame, and the pressure of public scrutiny collide with her desire to move forward and claim independence. Every choice she makes is weighed not only against Gino's actions, but also against how the world sees her. It's a delicate balance between self-preservation and accountability. And it illustrates how high-conflict relationships can trap people in cycles of emotional tension. Understanding this doesn't mean excusing bad behavior. It means seeing the human patterns beneath the drama. People lash out, hold on, and make moves that feel controlling when their hearts are bruised, when fear and uncertainty take over, or when they feel cornered. Both sides are acting from a mixture of pain, strategy, and instinct, which makes the story emotionally compelling and relatable even amid the chaos. The real question here is closure. Can either of them step out of the emotional spiral, let go of hurt, and find peace? Or will the cycle of revenge, attachment, and unresolved conflict keep them entangled? The answers aren't easy, and the tension lingers because the story is still unfolding. Every choice they make now has the potential to either break the cycle or pull them deeper into it, leaving the audience wondering what the next chapter will bring. The tangled web between Jasmine and Gino is far from over, and the unresolved drama keeps piling up. The divorce hasn't been finalized, leaving both of them in a state of limbo. Custody questions linger because Gino is legally considered the father of a child that isn't biologically his, creating tension that neither can ignore. Financial battles over 90-day fiancé earnings are ongoing, and each legal move seems to trigger another round of emotional retaliation. Add the shadow of revenge and the constant public scrutiny, and it becomes clear that every step they take is under pressure from multiple directions. Even with all this chaos, the story isn't predictable. There are potential twists on every horizon, unexpected legal rulings, surprises from family or friends, or even Jasmine finding a way to push back strategically. Fans know that reality TV rarely resolves neatly, and each episode has the potential to shift the balance of power in a single dramatic moment. One conversation, one legal development, one unexpected reaction could tilt the entire dynamic between them. The emotional stakes are just as high as the legal and financial ones. Will Gino finally release control and let go? Or will he double down, using every leverage point to maintain influence? Will Jasmine assert her independence fully? Or will the weight of legal, financial, and emotional pressure slow her down? And how will the public respond when new developments inevitably emerge, adding another layer of complexity to an already volatile situation? As the drama continues, nothing feels certain. Every move, every choice, and every reaction could rewrite the story entirely. The emotional, legal, and public battles are intertwined, and both Jasmine and Gino are navigating a minefield where the next episode could change everything. One twist could shift the scales completely, leaving viewers wondering who will emerge stronger, who will falter, and how this story will continue to unfold in ways nobody could have predicted. After everything that's unfolded between Jasmine and Gino, the stakes have never been higher. Emotionally, both are bruised, Gino wrestling with betrayal, anger, and lingering attachment, Jasmine balancing guilt, pressure, and a fierce desire for independence. Legally, the battle is equally intense. Divorce delays, custody questions, financial claims, and the looming immigration fraud case all create a minefield where one misstep could change everything. Every choice they make carries consequences that ripple through their lives, and the tension between control and freedom defines the story so far. Their journey highlights how complex relationships can become when trust is broken and emotions are raw. Power struggles aren't always about malice. They're often a reflection of hurt, fear, and the instinct to protect oneself. Control, revenge, and the fight for autonomy intersect, creating a story that feels as human as it is dramatic. Both sides have moments of vulnerability, frustration, and strategy, showing that in high-conflict situations, no one walks away untouched. Looking ahead, the story is far from over. The next episodes could bring shocking legal decisions, unexpected alliances, or new revelations that shake the balance entirely. Fans can expect more twists, heated confrontations, and dramatic choices as Jasmine and Gino navigate a path that's both unpredictable and compelling. And this isn't just about one couple. The drama echoes across the 90 Day Fiancé universe, where relationships, loyalty, and personal stakes are constantly tested. So, here's something to think about. How much of this conflict is driven by love, and how much is driven by the need for control? Could Jasmine and Gino ever find closure? Or is this cycle destined to continue? Let me know what you think in the comments. And don't miss our next video exploring another explosive 90 Day Fiancé story that's guaranteed to leave you shocked and talking.